Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Gavin Syme here live on the Exile Show. Gonna talk a little bit about what's going on. Everybody pop in there, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Welcome. If you're tuning in live, good to see you guys all in there. Shout out to everybody. Huge shout out to our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Gavin Syme. Thank you guys for caring enough to help us keep producing more videos, and it's really good. So I'm gonna let you guys pop in there. I'm gonna tell you what is going on, what the crazies are up to, and what the loyalist, redcoat, patriots are doing in the world of trying to make everyone's life as hard as they possibly can. I know it's midday. Some of you are probably on lunch break. Some of you are probably at work, and maybe that's a weird time of day to stream, but you know what? You see that pop up, hit that bell icon on the channel on your phone so that you can get those notifications of the live streams, and that way you can pop in there live and get notified as soon as we go live. All right, so today, get this. I did a call yesterday on my Facebook, right? And we were calling for my friend John Lamb, who was in a bad accident. The police and the tow company were illegally holding his property. And so over on facebook.com/callmegav, hey everybody, we did a live stream yesterday calling to try and get John Lamb's stuff back and calling the tow company and the police department and saying, hey, you know, you have no right to be holding this stuff. The word is now that they're being much nicer, and they actually released it after this calls, and then some of you guys followed up and called in. But the Fedco loyalist trolls didn't like this too well. Now you have to understand, there's a lot of people that don't like me and don't like people like me and you who speak out. There are entire channels and Facebook pages and Twitter accounts basically dedicated to harassing, defaming, trying to make trouble in my life. There's a YouTube channel that steals a lot of my videos and then mocks them and repurposes them and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes they do things like take my face. I actually have a video where they took my face and put it on a rape scene and put it out there to mock me. And of course, they can get away with this, right? Let's face it, we get banned for speaking the truth, not for actually doing bad things in this era of social media. There's this Twitter account called Goblin Seaman, and they post stuff. And I don't usually like to give the trolls any attention, but yesterday, they got mad because I made these phone calls. So they put out my cell phone number, all right? And they put out my cell number, and I've been getting countless harassing calls. But it gets better. It gets better because guess what? Despite saying they want to protect us from harassment and spam and putting out apps to that event, in reality, Apple and AT&T are doing just the opposite. Some of you guys may have noticed that more of the spam calls you get don't have numbers, right? They come from unknown or no caller ID numbers now, hoping to get through filters and things like that. So on your phone, on your iPhone, you can block an incoming number, but there's no effective way to block a number that's unknown or no caller ID. AT&T has an app to try and claims to block spam calls, but in reality, it'll only block ones that have been filtered by them or that are spam, right? That have a number with them that you actually block. So neither AT&T or Apple are allowing their users to block calls from unknown numbers. So what the trolls are starting to do is they call us from unknown numbers that the phones are not set up to be able to block, which is interesting. And of course, I have ways to deal with this. This is not the first time I've been trolled. And so I do think that it's completely unacceptable. It's shameful that neither Apple nor AT&T have a way. It's almost like they're in collusion with the spammers. And what they're really doing is allowing people to be harassed and trolled despite their intents when they're paying for a service and not giving people. So I called AT&T myself today and kind of called them out on this. I think Apple and AT&T should both be called out. I believe Android actually has a feature to block unknown numbers. And so, yeah, there's no easy way to do this. There's all these lame workarounds, and I know the one of like, turn on do not disturb mode, but I don't want to block everyone else's calls or just the ones on my contact list. I want to block what I want to block, right? And so, yeah, the phone is starting to ring. You can see I put the number here. Let me flip it for you guys because the phone flips this around. And I'm going to flip the number there. I reversed the number on the screen back here so that you guys can call. You guys can see that the phone is now ringing because I put it on my YouTube. Now, here's the thing. This is my here's the cell number. There is my cell number there. I'm just gonna put it out, right? Because these trolls think that they're really winning because they get one of my numbers and they put it out. So you know what? Here's my cell phone number. And they're already, it's just ringing constantly now, guys. So there it is. There's my cell phone number. And, you know, trolls have a way of getting these things out there and thinking that they're going to mess us up. Well, okay, here you go, trolls. Now, let me put this out there for you guys, okay? Now, here is, for me, this is funny. When I switch it, on my screen, when I'm doing a front-facing camera, it shows everything in reverse. Apparently, in software, it's reversing it for you guys. So if I put it in reverse on my screen here, it shows correctly on my screen in front of me, but then apparently it's reversing again. So let's flip it back, okay? Now it's reversed for me on my screen here, it's straightforward for my screen here, and apparently the software is fixing it and it's right direction for you guys. So that's good to know. I actually never knew that. I thought I had to reverse it for you to show it correct. So anyways, you can see all these missed calls coming in, and here I'll kind of hide the numbers there so other people don't get called. But different numbers, like actually every one of these is a different number. So I can see you guys are testing that. Here's the thing. I think that we're just going to put it out there. So trolls, do your worst. Call the number, leave all your hateful messages. I mean, this is what they've been trying to do, is they don't even have the courage to call from like a normal number. They just call dozens and dozens and hundreds of times from a unknown number, because AT&T and Apple are not taking care of their customers despite tons of requests for this, and they don't allow us to block directly unknown numbers. We got to use stupid workarounds and stuff like that. Trolls, government, yeah, I mean, they're the same. So here's the thing. This number, you can trolls, go to town. Leave your voicemail, send your hateful texts, do your worst, right? Go ahead. So they think they really like, oh, we found a number of Gavins and we're putting it out there. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. I'm not psychologically driven by you guys. Okay, I know that calling out tyranny, lawlessness, and corruption is a good thing. And so they try to say, oh, we should harass Gavin because he's harassing others. And so they try and do everything they can to make hardship for my family, to make hardship for my business. This is how the trolls work. And we just keep forging on. And I tell people that are dealing with this, you've got to tune it out, right? You got to listen to people that are respectable and credible, and you got to tune out the rest. That's how we have to do it. We can't let ourselves be defined by those that hate us, all right? So I'll tell you what, here's the thing. This is a one-time deal. This is not how to get a hold of Gavin. If you're a troll and you want to bug me, you can call this number, okay? And generally speaking, right? Calling me on my phone as a general rule is the worst way to get a hold of me. I don't answer numbers from calls numbers that I don't recognize, because I just get too many. And it's not that, sometimes it may seem like, oh, Gavin's mean, right? But guys, I just don't have time. I don't even get to see all the comments on this channel, right? When you comment live, I see it. I see some of the comments just after I post a video, but there's thousands of comments coming through, just constantly, right? So I don't get to see them all. I don't get to see the messages from YouTube. A lot of messages from Facebook I don't get. So I'm going to tell you before this video ends how to actually get a hold of me. If you care, if you want to send encouragement, if you want to send support, if you have a question, how you can actually get a hold of me and actually get messages to me, all right? However, for the sake of this call, just to prove that this is my phone, because numbers are pouring in, I will take one call. If you say, you better be nice, because I can just hang right up. And I'm only going to take it for a couple seconds. I'm going to say hi, and then I'm going to say hi to one caller and then hang up. We're not going to go and do like a big conversation, okay? So you can call the number on my screen just so we can show the trolls that it's a real number. Here comes a number. Okay, here we go. Hello? Hello? Oh, nobody there. Okay, I'll give it one more. Here's another. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, what's your name?
Kim.
Kim, good to hear from you. I'm going to go so we don't drag it out, but you keep up the fight.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I know, guys, there's tons more calls. Maybe we will do this again, okay? Shout out to Kim. Kim got this. I'm not going to keep answering the phone because it'll just turn this stream into long and draggy. But maybe we'll do a show occasionally where we take a live call and have some fun with this. However, thank you all for the kind words. And I'm actually getting kind texts in the troll phone, which is nice. And I thank you because normally when people are trolling me, they're just, they're leaving nasty messages and things like that. I mean, I got this voicemail from a guy early this morning and he's just saying, oh, you're such an idiot. And this is what people spend their time on. It's really weird. It's interesting because when we call government officials, I don't call people, I don't put out like people's home numbers so that their wives and children can be harassed. If I'm calling like a company or a police officer or something like that, I'm getting publicly available numbers and we're calling and we're trying to hold their feet to the fire. And yesterday's calls, if you go watch the video on my Facebook yesterday, it worked. The police are saying, hey, okay, fine, we're going to give everything back. The tow truck company, who was completely rude to the people trying to get stuff back, is now like, hey, okay, we're going to give it back, right? So look, you know what? It's good. It's like, we speak out, we put pressure on. You have to put pressure on tyrants, you guys. There's nothing wrong with putting pressure on tyrants. But I don't want, even the thug cop, right? I'm not going to call and try and make his kid's life miserable. It's not their fault that he's a criminal. Okay, so yeah, Kim won today. There's the cell phone number for the trolls because they're really excited that they're like, oh, look, Gavin's phone, call and harass him, right? Because that's what he does to other people. The hypocrisy of these people is truly amazing. I see them mocking John Lamb, who got in this terrible accident last week. They're constantly mocking the Bundys, the political prisoners. These are sick people that are engaged in this. These aren't patriots. These aren't people that have respect for the rule of law. So here's the thing. I want to make this clear. I will not be responding to texts on here that are just like bulk text. I do appreciate, it's nice. I like it when you guys send nice messages. I just get too many texts and things like that. Mike says Ohio loves you. 909 says stay safe. So I really appreciate the kind words, but no doubt the trolls will be calling this phone from their hidden numbers later so they can courageously harass Gavin Syme. But speaking to you guys who actually want to get a hold of me now, okay? I might glance at text, I might see, but I won't be like engaging in text. 'Cause honestly, like I'm trying to get content out, I'm trying to feed my family. It's nothing against you guys. I love you guys. I just don't have enough hours in a day to like answer phone calls, especially phone calls, because phone calls, I like to talk as much as you do. And phone calls go into long conversations that take an hour long, right? Half an hour, and I would never get anything done. If you guys actually want to get a hold of me and want a response, gavinforliberty@gmail.com, okay? That is my email address, my main email address for my human rights activism, gavinforliberty@gmail.com. And actually, let me, here, let's write it out right here here we go. gavinforliberty@gmail.com. All right, so there we go. There is Gavin for Liberty. Now here's the thing. People troll me at this one too, but I just ignore those. It's a lot easier to manage information through the emails. Even though I love dealing with situations on the phone, right? As a business, as somebody calling businesses, yes, phones are good. But if you actually want to get a hold of me, then gavinforliberty@gmail.com is a phenomenal way to do that. I can't promise we'll always respond to every single message. If you're sending me chain messages, yes, you're going to be put into my spam inbox. If you're sending me like just weird random stuff, yes. But if you actually have a genuine question or a thought or an encouragement or something like that, we try to respond to all those. Either myself or my brother Nathan, we both watch that inbox and it's good. So anyways, guys, I thought we'd go live. That's what the trolls were up to. They think they got a big victory and there's the number for them, right? Go ahead, trolls. Go ahead right here. Give it a call, send your hate mail and all that kind of stuff. Because people who hate liberty, people who back blue ISIS, people who claim that they're loving or patriotic or Christian, but they oppose justice, the rule of law, and love for neighbor. They oppose human rights. They think they're better because of the color of their skin or their geographic location. We have a nation filled with these kind of hateful people that All they really want is not freedom or justice. They want their coffers to be filled and them to have special treatment. And that isn't freedom. And so if those kind of people are hating on me and saying that I'm rude and I'm terrible, you know what? There is no organization in the USA that terrorizes more people than Blue ISIS. The police in our USA deserve to be called out. They deserve to be resisted. And at the same time, yes, we should be peaceful. We shouldn't be vengeful and hateful. We don't want to be like them, all right? And so to these poor trolls that literally spend hours of your day, you have so little in your heart that instead of helping your fellow man, you spend hours of your day trying to harass people like me or Kelly Stewart or Ammon Bundy or John Lamb or other people that are out there actually on the front lines fighting for liberty. That's pathetic. And I'm sorry that you are so incredibly debased and lacking in character that that's all you can do. But you know what? I'm not afraid of it. There's the number. Give it a jingle. And go to town. Go to town. I can handle the hate. And I think my point here today was to put this number out, kind of show you guys what's going on and what we deal with, but also to encourage you guys, because any of you that deal with this to varying levels, any of you that start calling out the police and making videos, you can do it. Your voice has the power to change the world. And it's not easy and it's not fast, but you know what? You know what? It's worth it. And so don't be afraid of using your voice. Do it boldly. Always turn the camera on. Be strong in your positions. And sometimes I see friends and people on the internet and people doing this. Sometimes I see people struggling because they're catching hate. And it's not always easy. Don't get me wrong, right? I mean, there's times when I do a video and people are saying that I should be killed or my children should be castrated so that my family line can't progress. I mean, people say horrible, vile things, and they post them about my kids and my family and my wife. And these trolls are the basest of the base, right? And then they have the gall to say that we're rude. These are the lowest of the low. And a lot of them are just the everyday people you live next door to that are flag-waving people. A lot of them don't even realize they're the lowest of the low. And that they're so base, and that in terms of their thought patterns, it's like it doesn't get more base. And we need to tell them that. A lot of people think they're patriots, right? The Bible even says in the last times, I'm a Bible believer, maybe you guys aren't, but it says in the last times, people will kill you and say they're doing God a favor. That's the kind of people we're dealing with, all right? So turn that camera on. Yes, even through the TSA. You may not hold it up, but just turn it on and like stick it through the baggage thing, like just to defy them, right? And just always film the police. Always film the person who's trying to violate your rights. Don't be afraid to speak out. And when they attack you, when they troll you, this is really important. Get sure in yourself, right? As a Christian believer, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to read a psalm or a proverb to get some encouragement. I'm going to talk to my family, whatever's needed, right? You guys have to make your choice on how you deal with those things. But when people are attacking you, never let your courage be defined by the cowardice of someone who can only spew hatred, lies, and defamation. You can't let yourself be defined by that. Whatever situation you're in, don't let yourself. I see people all the time getting absolutely lambasted. Somebody's in the news for something and people are like, they deserve it. If that's the kind of heart you have a serious mental problem. And I look at the United States and I see this all the time. I see people constantly reveling in the suffering of others. Even if they're people we disagree with, we shouldn't revel in their suffering. We should seek justice with compassion. All right? Just some thoughts. Don't let the trolls get you down, guys. I'm not going to let the trolls define me, and I hope you guys won't let the trolls and the haters and the Fed coats and the loyalists define you. Speak the truth boldly. Do it calmly and with peace and with courage. You check your own conscience with honor. Check your own conscience with the standards of God, morality, natural law, if you prefer. Make sure you're not harming others, that you're not being the vindictive, vengeful lynch mob like Blue ISIS and their cronies and the patriots that call themselves the Patriot Movement in the USA. Even if there's only a few of us standing for good, that changes the world. All right, guys, I'm going to go. There's my number trolls. Rock 'em, sock 'em. I can handle your hate because lies don't affect or alter the truth that I've chosen to speak. All right, guys, have a good one. Stay safe. Appreciate the support over on the Patreon. Those of you, if you enjoy the show, I really do appreciate those of you who are pitching in just a couple bucks a month over on the Patreon so we can keep expanding the production values of the different shows, the Exile Show vlog. If you haven't seen our latest Exile Show, make sure you go to the channel main page, the homepage of the channel after this. There's a whole new category there for the Exile Show. And we're just going to keep pushing it. You can find me, Gavin Syme, patreon.com/Gavin Syme, on Instagram /Gavin Syme, GAVINSEIM, okay? Facebook.com/callmegav, and my photography page on Facebook for my day job, my software, things like that I make, facebook.com/SIME Effects, SEIM Effects, all right? Peace, guys. Have a good one.